It's great to be back. So we have about 20, 30 minutes, as Linda said, to put a nice bow on what I think has been an extraordinary day, yeah? So I have a question for you to begin with. How does a comedian know they've done a great job? People laugh. How do we know we've done a great job when we communicate? I didn't think it would be that hard. It's the response we get, right? And it took me a little while to learn this. So when I first started my journey, I came from a military background, doctor of chiropractic. So it's like details or die, and then diagnose. You had to get it right. So I remember sitting there at the kitchen bench, and I just got off this Zoom, and I was just like, oh, I smoked that. Like, there is not another detail that person could have known about the product. Like, I cited every research article, they knew everything there was to know. And I was just like, oh. And I look up and there's Kate just like shaking her head. Like, she's like, dude, do you know anything about the person? Did you tell a story? Did you ask any questions? So I tell you that because we need to get so good at what we do that we're just so observant of what the other person is responding back, okay? So I'm going to give you a couple little skills around story, because that's what today has been about. But my real outcome for you guys, so I'm going to know I've done a great job if you're back here next year. That's really my outcome. So it used to frustrate the heck out of me because everyone asked at the start, who was here last year? And I would look and I'm going, well, where's all the other people? And that way I just couldn't get my head around it until one of my mentors just said, that's just how it is. So if we put a line down the middle of this room, we already know half of you won't be here next year. And it's kind of a sad thing, but if you just get around, well, that's how it is. But the half who come back, they've got a bit more skills, a bit more belief, a bit more income, a bit bigger team, one or two more people in the room. And then the next year, half of those people will be in the room again. And the year after that, half of that. But all the while, there's the smaller group is the ones who end up sitting at the front, who make the advancements and all of that. So that's my first thing. So if you turn to the person next to you and just say, I'm going to be here next year. So my second outcome for you is this, that you leave today feeling 1% better than yesterday. Does everyone feel at least 1% better than the skills they walked in with yesterday, yeah? Who feels more than 1% better? But this is the thing, who's gone and they feel like, oh my gosh, I just doubled my skills, I doubled my belief, tripled my understanding. And then 2 weeks from now, it kind of disappeared, all right? Who's had team like 2 days after an event, a conference or whatnot, going, this is just not for me. I'm just too lazy, whatever it is. So I would rather that you leave with a plan that you're 1% better today, but tomorrow you're 1% better than today. And the day after that, you're 1% better again. So when you're back here in this room, you're 365% better. Does that make sense? Because we don't rise to the level of our expectation, we fall to the level of our training. And you've got some incredible skills, but think about this, when an athlete goes on the field and they play their game, professional athlete, the rest of the week they're training. Whereas for us, we are always on the court. Does that make sense? You're always inviting face-to-face with a real person. But I find that we don't take this professionally where we do it in the mirror, we do it with our sideline, we do it with our mentor, the training in between. So the difference between doing this as an amateur or as a professional, you've got to sharpen the skills. particularly like that person that you're practicing on, who's a real person, what if this could have been the thing for them, but you weren't sharp with them? That's a disadvantage to them. It's not like, oh, my business didn't grow. So that's the two things. And then finally, I hope you guys get that people remember very little of what you say. Very, very little, okay? But it's how you made them feel. And if you want people to feel a certain way, you've got to go there first. It's been said several times. So I want you to think about what are 3 virtues, what are 3 feelings that you need to embrace to bring to your business. And just shout them out. Trust, empathy, love, excitement, honesty, confidence, fun. Someone said fun. Certainty. Love it. So that when you bust out of here in 20 minutes, you feel like you have all of the resources. The other thing I want to make sure is that who already knows the thing that derails them? Shout that out. What are a few things? All right, let's change that. Turn to the person next to you and share just very quickly 2 or 3 words, because it's a domino effect, isn't it? It's the downward spiral. If you can identify the first thing and you catch it, then the rest of the dominoes don't fall. So quickly, turn to the person next to you, share the thing that derails you. Alrighty, let's wrap it up there. So I want to make sure you leave with a strategy that thing doesn't become the thing that makes you not realize the vision and the lifestyle that you love. So, quick story. Little boy comes home from school one day, hands his mama a note, and he watches his mama open this note from school. And with tears welling up in her eyes, he asks, "Mama, what does it say?" And she's like, "Son, it's a letter from the school saying, you're a genius. We literally don't have the resources, the teachers don't have the understanding to be able to teach you. You are just that smart." And so the mama sets up a home schooling routine for him. And years go by, and many years after that, when the mother passed away, Thomas Edison was the little boy. So he had become the greatest inventor, the greatest scientist of the century. And he was sorting out his mother's affairs, going through her things, and he finds at the bottom of this trunk a piece of paper. And he reads the letter from the school. And the letter said, "Your son is addled," in other words, mentally ill. And he can't be at school anymore. And he went on to write that through his mother's heroism, that he became the greatest inventor of the century because of that vision, that one change in message. So I want you to think about, what's the message you've been telling yourself? Because there's been a lot around story and how we project it, but I want to address a little bit what's the story that's going on in our heads. And then also, how are you showing up like that for your team? Where they're getting home from school, work, whatever it is, feeling I'm not enough, but you're literally prophesizing to them of what they can be. And you're going to have a gift to do that as we wrap up. But I want you to think about the things that Linda had you write down. So 2 or 3 things. If you look down at that page, what are the truths? And so the gift that we're going to go through, if you've ever seen me prepare for one of these, I'm usually a mess. I've got my headphones on and I'm pacing and I'm just a disaster to be around. I think most of the people I meet at these events, they must think, like, I can't even talk and I speak funny, and because I'm just like, and I want you to know that as well, because sometimes we look at people on stage or we look at people in this incredible position and go, wow, look at that. They must have it so easy. So I want to share with you behind the scenes, like, it's still the heart flying off the handle. It's still the flutters. It's still the I'm not good enoughs. But the difference is we just don't let that become the story. But I had this little thought this morning, and I love my headphones. The noise-cancelling ones, I usually have Bose. I left them at home. I borrowed Fraser's today, but they're the Sony, the noise-cancelling. And I want to give you guys this strategy around when that thing comes up. The thing comes up that's going to derail you, or maybe it's the thing that you've been telling yourself, that you're able to flip that. And so I learnt just the other day, in Denmark, when they say the word avoidance, they break the word up. It's avoid dance. So what's the dance you do to avoid that thing? So who's willing to play with me just for a little bit? So everyone on your feet. And we're going to, we'll go with numb, yep. So you're going to put your Bose headphones on in a minute, because you won't be able to hear me with the noise cancelling function. And you're going to do an avoid dance, okay? But what you're going to go through is start to think about the thing that does derail you. Think of the thing that you wrote down, and then you're going to go into noise cancelling, because how much distraction is there available to you in life? There's a plethora of it. And so I want you to we're going to spend just a few minutes back and forth doing this, but being able to cancel out the noise, to use your body, so to go into the dance, and you're going to say out loud the truth. Does that make sense? Blank stares, few people, you'll get it. So you're going to start to think about the thing that comes up for you, okay, as if it's coming up. It's the opinion of someone. It's the own voice of you starting to come up. And you're going to cancel it out. You're going to go into your dance, however that looks. You can't use your hands because you're noise cancelling. And then you're going to start to say out loud the truth. And as I say that, what comes up for you? What will people think of me? Will it be, yeah, it's very real for you. What will people think of me? You know, oh, this is weird, this is awkward, and I'm doing it for that purpose. Because in here it's beautiful, it's safe, it's hugs, it's rainbows, it's butterflies, but you're about to step out into the real world. And so I want you to notice what comes up in the comfort of this uncomfortableness, if that makes sense. So you can have an experience of that. And like this, like you do anything, you do everything. So how you're going to play here is how you're going to play out there. So you have an opportunity now in the room before you step out there to actually embrace and embody some of the things that you've learned. All those in favor say aye. Let's do it. So let's go with a bit of music. So just start to think about the things that come up for you. Let's get a bit of movement going. And I want you to listen to the words. All right, headphones on, move into your dance, and tell yourself the truth. Shout it out loud. They can't hear me. All right, hands down. So when you put your hands to your ears, you need to shout out the truth. It might be your I am statements, but what's the antithesis of the thing that you have been telling yourself? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Keep going, keep going, keep going. All right, hands down. Everyone grab a seat. So, who could do that better at home? People ask me about vision. Who thinks vision is important in this business? Hugely. So if you can have people catch the vision that extends further out than the challenges that they have, it's the whole game. And I was on a training a couple of weeks ago, and one of the team members said, oh, she just can't get the vision. But she used the word, she just can't catch the vision. And I'm sitting at home and our 3 children have chickenpox. And I just had this realization, you know that to catch chickenpox, you've got to be around other people who have chickenpox. And I thought, vision's exactly the same, isn't it? To catch vision, you've just got to be around other people who have it. And you just keep putting yourself in the environment until you catch the vision. So I'm going to give you a little process that we'll go through to experience your own vision. But the other thing that I wanted to just wrap with is around stories. And we spoke about plot and particularly the P, so the pain. Have you ever thought about when we think in pictures? So when Fraser was telling the story about his left, unfortunately, a lot of us pictured that. Or when Linda had remember the orange, everyone, pink, was it? At the start, it was an orange bag, wasn't it? Pink bag, good listening, it. But it's the images that we form. So the most powerful way I've found of sharing your story is to paint a word picture for the person. Because they're going to visualize it exactly how they see it, which is more powerful than you trying to describe it. So think about a moment that is the epitome of your effort or I'm done with this moment around the pain. So I'll share what I mean. I was still a chiropractor and I get a message from my wife. And like the morning had just finished of the adjusting shift, so I'm there in the practice and I open my phone and there's a picture of my little boy, Bodhi, who was about 7 at the time, and it was a video, and he was just winning his cross-country race. And the first feeling was just like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. You know, he's right there, I'm watching, the big smile. And then the very next feeling was just this sinking in my stomach of why am I here and not there? And in that moment, I thought, something's got to change. So as I went through that, who could see Bodhi? No one knows, but you've never seen Bodhi, but you could see a little boy crossing a finish line with a smile. As I said, I got this sinking feeling in my stomach. Who could feel the sinking feeling? So I've taken you there just by taking you back to that. So, just wherever you can, I think there's a section to write some notes down. Go back to that time and then think about everything that you saw. So another time, I wake up, it's 4 a.m., it's a phone call, it's from one of our staff. So we had 5 chiropractic centers, and I remember the sound of the alarm, or the phone, and the sound in my wife's voice as she took the call, and the sinking feeling. because one of our staff had called in sick, and it meant Kate having to get up and drive 2 hours to replace the staff member for that day. And at the time, we had 3 children under 3. And our little girl, Zara, I remember her waking up. And Kate just about to walk out the door, and Zara going, "Mummy, Mummy, don't leave." And seeing her nails scratch down Kate's leg as she's like trying to get out the door. Did everyone see that? Everyone could feel it. You could have the intensity of the emotion. Compared to me going, I was a chiropractor and I'd miss my kids, I'd miss these magic moments, and it was really frustrating because my wife would have to go off to work. It just doesn't have the same impact. So I just wanted to give you that to put it on the next layer of how you tell your stories, okay? So let's go through it. We'll just take like 60 seconds, but go back to that time, to that moment that was the epitome of I'm done with this. Does that make sense? Because it's going to bring your story down and sharp and to the point. It'll allow you to say less and mean more. And so just do a little visual. Go into that scene and go, what did you see? What did you hear? What did you feel? What was the feeling inside you? If there was a taste to it, if there was a smell, all of these things bring that to life. Is that helpful? So let's just asterisk that as a to-do, as one of your skills. And I think it's time to bring this to a nice little close, huh? So who hasn't heard me speak before? All right, we're in for a little treat. So if you could clear your lap, move your chair to a place, if you're behind a table, where you're able to stand up. I'm not asking you to stand, but you're going to go from a sitting to a standing position. And if we could have lights down, please. So as everyone just takes a nice deep breath in through their nose and lets it out. And takes another deep breath in. And this time let it out with a juicy moan. And as you take another deep breath in, let your eyes close. And let that breath out. And as you continue to breathe deeply, on the next breath in, feel you're sitting up nice and tall. Feel a piece of string pulling you up through the crown of your head. And as you let the breath go, just feel that string relax. And as you take another breath in, feel where that string was being replaced by a bright white light. And feel the warmth and love of that light starting to move through your skull, over your face, over your eyes, over your neck. As you take another deep breath in, feel that beautiful, white, warm, loving light fill up your entire chest. As you let the breath go, just feel that light continue to move through your entire belly, out through your shoulders, out through your arms, out through your legs, your entire body enveloped in this beautiful white healing light. And start to think about the people in this room and the mission that we're all on together. And as you do that, take another deep breath in and feel your light connecting with their light. So we are just one continual beam of bright, healing light. And feel that light filling up the entire room. Feel it starting to move out into the air, out into the Gold Coast, and just think about the collective mission, the collective power that we have to change the world. And just start to think about the conversations you've already had and the people's lives you've already been able to touch. Think about the babies. Think about the children off medication. Think about the mamas. Think about all of the different health conditions that have been remissed. But don't just think of them, see their faces. See their smiling faces, the gratitude for the conversations you've already had. And as you start to think about that and the new skills that you've learnt today, think about the conversations you're going to have and the ripple effect of what that has. Start to think about the team members that you're going to attract with this new confidence, this new certainty, this new conviction. And as you take another deep breath in, think about your team members. Think about the beautiful panels, the girl gangs, the guys, the people that you have got to turn from strangers to friends to now closer than family. And as you take another deep breath in and just let it out, and start to think about the people that you're going to have here next year. The team members that you're going to have with you. And in a moment, you're going to make a stand for this vision. You're going to make a stand for the impact that this is having on your family, your children, your community, and the beautiful bond that you've created with this vast network of people. So as you take one more breath in, feel that energy starting to build through you. Feel that vision compelling you. And start to see a particular outcome, a particular goal, a particular target of what you would love to accomplish in the next 90 days. But think about the actions you're going to take. Think about the actions. What are the things that you're going to commit to that you know are going to make a difference? And feel yourself being drawn to do those. And I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 1, and you're going to make a stand for your new commitment. In 3, 2, 1, make a stand. So with your eyes closed, stand the way you would stand with absolute certainty that you were made for this. Breathe the way you breathe. And with your hand on your heart, give thanks for your heart that beats 100,000 times a day, with you or without you, of your conscious thought. As you take another deep breath in, feel your feet planted to the ground like roots. Feel that white light still pulling you up, guiding you, directing you. Feel the people's energy around you, united as one. And as I count back from 3, you're going to make the sound, like you did with Fraser, of what it's going to feel like to accomplish these goals. 3, 2, 1, make the sound. 3, 2, 1, make the sound. Let's make it louder. And with this level of certainty, this level of gratitude, this level of support, shout out, what is possible? Shout out again, what is possible? So in a moment, we're going to celebrate like crazy for about 30 seconds. We're going to get a few hugs, some high fives, and then you're going to give yourself the gift of a letter, just like Thomas Edison did for his mother. In 3, 2, 1, make the sound. Go ahead, make the sound again. And let's light this place up. All right, let's get 5 high fives. Hey, buddy. 3, 2, 1, let's go! Fall to the floor! Alrighty, so we have just 5 minutes to, you have a piece of paper in front of you. If we have the lights back up, please. So with that vision, that energy, that gratitude, think about whatever you believe in, where that light was coming from the string. You're going to write yourself a letter to you, from you. But it's from your higher self. And you're going to write to yourself in about 90 to 100 days from now, as if it's already happened. What you're proud about, what you love about yourself. The things that you've accomplished that you're proud of. The relationships that you've built. The customers that you've attracted. What are the things you've done? What are the conversations you've had? Who are the people that you've reached out to? It might be relationships that you've healed. What are the character traits that you've enriched, developed inside you that you're most proud of? Most of us are functioning at just a fraction of our potential. Even when we think we've given it our all, we're at about 40%. What are the areas where you've stretched over the next 1 or 2 months? Keep your pen moving. So if you've finished writing your letter, you're going to see that there's an envelope, so pop it in there, address it to yourself, and you'll see James here with a big basket. So you're going to pop it in there and it will be mailed to you exactly at the right time you need to read it. It's the magic basket, I've just been informed. Let's keep the chatter down. People are still deep in thought. Alex, we'll just go. So if I could just have everyone's attention, if you want to keep writing, let's just put a pause on that and we'll let you keep writing after this. We just want to wrap this up, and it's always such an honor, a privilege, a blessing that I don't take lightly to be up here in front of you guys. But also a day never goes by where I don't have unbelievable, immense gratitude for James and Linda. And for us it was a 6-year conversation. 6 years of just holding space for us, putting friendship first, and I'm forever grateful for that. These guys have had unbelievable challenges through their personal family lives, and to pull off this event to this caliber again is just out of this world. So if I could have Christine and all the NMDs onto the stage. Really fast. And all of the speakers as well, please. If you spoke on stage, come on up. So first of all, if you could show a huge round of applause for all of your NMDs, all of your speakers who put today together. Is Jody here? And then if we could direct our attention over to the AV guys, Alex, the cameraman, an incredible job, huge round of applause. And to the grand Mama Bear, to Linda, who come on out, James, kiddies. I know Jody would have appropriately disappeared. And just to show a huge applause, your appreciation for these guys for putting on such an incredible event. Alrighty guys, if you need to keep doing your letter, do that while you're in this frame of mind. I don't know the logistics from here. It's never my strong suit. Gonna say a few things?
Just one or two.
So a couple of things.
This is not the bank account revenue. This is what life is about. When someone pours into you and you get to be your best version and they remind you every single day you got this and they're a prophet for you and they see you, that's what we get here. I don't know where else that exists. You've got to pay for it somewhere else, or it's very hard to find. And you get that every single day here for free. And sometimes you just treat it like it's free. But who we become on the journey it's just unbelievable. So just like the shallows that Fraser said, it's really great when you first step forward and you quietly share your story. But there's nothing better than when you see someone that you maybe sprinkled some belief or some prophecy into, and you held a space and some vision for you, and you just reminded them All learning is remembering. You just reminded them of their seeds of greatness. And then you see them light up. And then you see their family create a ripple effect. And then more of a ripple effect. James and I never could, on our own, affect and a ripple with 20,000 people across an organisation. This is the ultimate pay-it-forward business, and it's free. Please don't take it for granted. If you ever needed proof, is it worth it? I just have no words. Just feel my heart. That's it. We're 20 minutes over time.
That's it.